Good evening, everyone. This is the Toge Horseman. Just had to demonstrate that you actually are working with a man who has a horse for a head. But anyway, here we are again with another OnSwitch beta test. This time focusing on the build 1.1.18.9 with a specific request from the genius himself, David Pewzner, to test the improved off button behavior. So I've set up the GoPro Hero 4 Black in the 1080p super view. So this should be the widest angle possible. Not sure how many bulbs are visible in this frame, but I'm gonna guess you can capture 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe up to 16 bulbs, including 3 blooms and 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 light strips. So definitely a good sampling of Friends of Hue, light strips, and bloom, as well as the standard bulbs. So let's go ahead and see if the off button behavior is any better. So I'm first going to change the groups to what I call the living room scene. That's basically where we're at right now. And I will hit off in 3, 2, 1, off. Well, it looks like it might produce a better video if I actually use all of the bulbs, which includes about another 20 in my bedroom. But certainly some of the bulbs that stayed on are not in that group. So we'll do all off, and they're all off. So now I will go to everyday lighting. These are all my lights. I think this is 48 connected bulbs right now. We'll do skylight in 3, 2, 1, boom. Now, not sure if it's visible in the scene, but you can tell over underneath the cabinetry in the kitchen, there is a different color spectrum coming from one of the light strips. You can't really see that they're strips, but they're underneath, they're kind of recessed underneath the cabinetry. The one on the more right side over there is more of a orange hue. The one over there is more of a white hue, but we're testing off, so let's do more off. 1, 2, 3, off. Pretty good, I like it. If we're talking about off behavior, let's go all on again. 3, 2, 1, on. This time I picked the standard setting, and certainly we are looking at the same scenario where one of the light strips over yonder in the kitchen is kind of a blue hue. Let's go off again. And I'm looking at a phone with 2% battery, so I'm going to try to switch over to the watch for a second. Again, as a reminder, this is an Apple Watch 42mm Space Gray Sport Edition. Loading up the on switch. We're going to go all lights on. So, not sure if there was some sort of dimmer setting that it queued up, but the last one I had picked was the standard. And when I hit the watch on, it kind of queued up this dimmer setting. So I'll hit standard again, and bang, it's way brighter. So let's turn it off with the watch since we're doing off behavior. 1, 2, 3, off with the watch. And definitely not as snappy as the phone. Let's try the phone again. So that's on with the phone. Everything seems uniform. From what I can tell, light strips are showing more of an orange color with the standard everyday lighting scene, and blooms are showing more of a white color, white bluish hue. Let's go off with the watch again. So kind of, I mean, who can complain? That's pretty simultaneous. Let's go on with Skylight. So now, not sure if it's visible on the little table with the beautiful Golden Gate Bridge behind it. You can see one of the blooms is orange, one of them is blue. I'm speaking in generalities here. And all of the light strips seem a pretty uniform orange. I've got them everywhere, but you can see that they are uniformly orange from what I can tell. Let's go off with the watch again. Off behavior. Really no complaints there. I mean, I don't expect these things to snap off 50 bulbs in unison, but it is what it is. This sort of still feels like a first generation technology as far as these bulbs go. So we'll go nightlight this time. And that almost feels like what the watch originally turned on for whatever reason. Not sure if it's visible, but on the table below the Golden Gate, one bulb, these are blooms, one bloom is showing whitish, the other is showing orangish. We'll go off to test the off behavior. Choppy, but everything went off. The most annoying thing is when you hit off and not everything goes off. So the fact that they all go off, I am happy with. Let's hit Halogen just to see if the GoPro can pick up the differences. Wow. Standard bulbs all come on, looking good. Bloom still, for whatever reason, on that table over yonder is looking different. Blue and white, left and right, same drill. Let's go off again. There we have it, off behavior. So let's try some colored scenes just to give a sense of what we're working with. Red, 1, 2, 3, red. And that's pretty dramatic. We'll go off. Kind of off, and we'll go blue. Blue is blue. I think my eyes are going to take a while to get used to this, and we'll hit off. And we'll hit purple. It's interesting, as expected, the Friends of Hue do take a little bit of extra time to turn on. The standard bulbs are pretty much snapping on. Let's go off again. So yeah. I'm not really keeping track here. Maybe I'll pay closer attention. Let's look at green. Green is one of the real scenes where you can tell the difference between how much green the Friends of Hue can put off and how much the standard bulbs can pull off. The standard bulbs, green is as good as it's gonna get, but the Friends of Hue, the light strips and the bloom produce a vivid like reptilian green, which I always like to see since the standard bulbs can't do it. We'll go off. So, not too bad. If this is an improvement, I'm all for it. Let's go home theater for a sec, one of my faves. Actually, I like starting, this is how I live my life, every day. We'll start every day with Skylight. Now let's say I'm sitting here. Well, first of all, going from green to Skylight, it looks like many of the Friends of Hue bulbs, although it seems to be none of the standard bulbs, kept that green color, so that wouldn't really work well if you're hoping to see a Skylight. Let's try Skylight again. So again, going from green to Skylight seems to have been a problem. Now everything went to Skylight except for the, I don't know if you can see it over there, the green corner of the kitchen stayed green. Skylight again. It doesn't seem like we're going to have much luck, so we'll just go with a green kitchen counter for the moment being. And the whole point of this, what I was going to do was try to replicate what I do when I hit home theater. I'm about to watch something on the Philips Ambilight TV, of course, and I'll hit color accurate light and watch it dim down. So I've hit it, and I'm sort of patiently waiting. Typically the problem here, when there ever was a problem, was that maybe one or two bulbs would not dim down. But overall, this is kind of what I expect. It's like a nice white, quote, color accurate lighting. And then I watch TV. So for a moment here, we'll just, for lack of any other reason, just for fun, novelty sake, we'll do color pulse in all lights. And we're at 1% battery on this iPhone, so I'm not expecting to last much longer. So I'm hitting color pulse and nothing's happening. We'll change the group over to living room, just to kind of narrow the amount of bulbs, and color pulse. Well, let's do off now. Now I'm getting impatient. Everything's off, at least in the living room scene. We'll turn everything off on all lights. It's all off because I see it strobing in my bedroom and other areas. So now we'll go living room, color pulse. So here it is, color pulse with something happening. Not really sure what's going on here. Color pulse is not pulsing colors. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. So, as you can see, the colors are pulsing. It seems to take a little while for each bulb to do something, and then at least it hangs in the last color shown. I'm not sure if you can see it in the frame, but on the left side of the bridge, it seems like there's 3 bulbs, standard bulbs, that are just sitting there in the color accurate. There they go. Thank you, David.